I hate my voice. Jay, don't look at me like that. Hello, everybody. I feel like this is an AA meeting. Holy crap. So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Laura, and I'm the maid of honor. So, I'm not crying yet. Relax. I love this. All right, first off, I think we all need to give a hand to the newlywed couple for planning a wedding in the middle of a viral pandemic. Come on. So, usually it's me with 90% of the bad luck, but I gotta hand it to you, Jess. You took the cake on this time. Somehow you've managed to pull off, which is why we're having a stellar time today. So, for those of you that knew Jess and I back in high school, you would know that we didn't exactly get on the friendliest of terms at the very beginning. You're all right. It's okay. I mean, she's okay. Quite frankly, we got to know each other over our competitiveness. So obviously, we carried that for years to come. Rest in peace, Jess's liver. Seriously. So, Jess and I shared a mutual friend at one point in time named Eric. Not college, earlier than that. We also had our own separate class with him in the early high school years. One time I saw Eric opening up this cute little friendship letter, and I asked him who it was from. When he told me Jessie Lee, I immediately told him, I can do way better than that. And that proceeded into our note-making competition. Little did we know, Eric began purposely opening up our letters in front of each other, which turned us into full-blown competition mode. As each progression of letters came, they got longer, fancier, more colorful. We even began folding them in ways that we could not open them anymore. Keep in mind, her and I literally never spoke to each other. Very quickly, the notes were not about our friendship to Eric anymore. They were about who could do better, who was more creative. Eventually, after months of this competition, that was never actually even stated out loud, Jess and I ended up befriending one another because of my brother. Because Brent Usher, woo! This was, of course, after her getting over the fact that my letters were better than hers. She decided to be the bigger person and invited me out to dinner with a group of people one night, and the rest is history. And thank God for that. It was around the time that I learned how garbage I am at math, and Jessie Lee graciously offered her homework to me on numerous occasions. Still failed the class. Woo! Besides the point, but it was definitely not due to her lack of trying. We should have became friends in grade 9 earlier, please, next time. Really, it was just so crazy how we became inseparable almost immediately. Through the times of orange skin, thin eyebrows, caring a lot about our appearances, we tried to grow abs by doing sit-ups on my bed, all the way through the time of thick brows, mom shoes, and eyelash extensions. We have not been able to get rid of each other, and clearly we are stuck for life. Friendship tattoos, you say? Would that be the greasy kitchen tattoos we let my brother give us one night? If you were ever wonder what was on the back of Jess's neck, you should ask her. What is it? Or was it the 9-leaf clover on my foot? We could ask about that too. Okay, or maybe I'm talking about the lighter burn marks on my arms that we decided to give each other one night in the middle of some backwoods in Barrie Sound because we wanted to impress a group of new friends. Yeah, our friendship has pretty much sealed multiple ways, literally through blood, sweat, and tears. One of my favorite PG memories of Jess is her face deep in the toilet, holding her hair in one hand, eating pretzels in the other. And of course, we know that wasn't a result of me peer pressuring. All right, it was basically like sentry duty. So for those of you like Brandon who are in the military, you know what that means. You're essentially taking turns walking around, protecting or guarding something very vulnerable, and rotating turns so not everybody has to stand guard all night. Well, this was basically the same thing we did with Jess. I started out and I needed a pretzel refill, and our friend Cody conveniently walks into the washroom. To his surprise, he quickly learned he was indeed not going to use the washroom, but instead it was his turn to take shift on the Jessie Lee puke train. Woo! A best friend never lets one hair go down without a crisis. Even when she needs a snack break, and boy, we help each other on that front quite a few times. So this is my ride or die. We have cried together, laughed together, fought together through the ups and downs of our lives over the last 10 or so years. I've always known I can count on her. Whether it's to vent, cry, complain, laugh, or straight up have a good time, she's my go-to girl. In the same way we've always been able to count on each other, the man she has chosen to spend her life with is also blessed to be able to have this type of girl by his side, cheering him on or yelling at him when he needs it. We all know sometimes men need a little push to do things. Jess, you are so incredibly blessed to have someone that loves you as much as Brandon, and someone that can honestly say has successfully put up with your shenanigans for a long-ass time. There are many other stories I could talk about, some of which are highly inappropriate, and I could very well have had us arrested. Some of which involve large quantities of moose meat, which no one would never understand except Jess. Some of which involve witnessing Jess almost spinning off the 401 in a snowstorm, only to find her laughing when you look in the rearview mirror. I could go on for ages, but instead I want to touch on how honored I am to be standing next to Jess and Brandon on the most important day of their lives. Jess and Brandon have been through so much together, and they've rekindled their high school love for each other. I knew they were finally meant to be where they were in life. The heart wants what the heart wants, and you guys never lost passion and love for each other since day one. I'd be lying if I said I didn't see the coming. I would be lying if I said I didn't see the coming years ago. Those two are perfect for each other, and they always have been. Brandon, you're the only guy I know that can handle the craziness that is my best friend. She's the most fun and the most spirited person I know, and instead of trying to stop her from being who she is, you're always right along next to her whenever the shitstorm comes your way. Your relationship will never be boring. Jess, I know Brandon, being in the military, you'll be facing some tougher challenges ahead. Believe me when I tell you, I understand, and I'll be there beside you every time you need an ear or a shot, in the same way that you've been there for me whenever I've needed you. I could ramble on for hours, and I have, with the amount of dirt I have on Jess. But I want to finish off with one very important quote in the famous words of a newlywed wife. What's mine is mine, and what's yours is also mine. Brandon, good luck, and cheers to the newlywed couple.
Cheers.